boundaries. I'm not going to compromise my well-being to make you comfortable. Of course, everybody can do what they want with their body, but it's important to be informed. Hi, it's Paulina, and welcome back to the My Best Self podcast, where we become the best version of ourselves. Today we have a girl talk, and this type of video, I love this type of video. If you're an OG, you already know I've done plenty of girl talk videos, and I just love them. Like, they feel so cozy, they feel so warm. It's just a good conversation between two girls talking about life, talking about topics that maybe you don't normally feel comfortable talking about. We're gonna get into all of that today. I asked you all on Instagram to just ask me questions that you wanted advice on, give me situations, give me topics you wanted to touch on for this video, and that is what I have, and I have it all written down. So we're just gonna get right into it, and I wanted to connect a few topics. So the first topic, we're really diving into it right now. I had a few girls ask about being intimate with people, when to know it's the time. I had somebody tell me that they felt used in that situation. We're gonna talk about intimacy, and I feel like it's perfect for a girl talk because these are things that I think sometimes online you can get bad advice on. So I want to give my personal opinion, my advice for all the girls listening, especially the young girls. To the person that said they felt like they were wanted only for their body and it made them feel used, that is completely normal. If you're having intimate moments with people that don't value who you are as a person, it's completely normal that of course you're gonna feel used. No wonder you feel that way, because that person is doing that. That person, if they don't respect you and they're just coming around for your body, of course you're gonna feel that way. In the media, you see a lot of people saying like, oh, like this is taking our power back as women, you know, like being free, being sexually liberated takes your power back. The truth is though, when you're sharing that with just anybody, you're harming yourself more than you know. But even, I'll tell you, not my personal story. I know somebody who shared with me that they had been with a lot of people. They shared that with me, and they told me that that was in their younger years. And they shared with me how in that moment they didn't realize the harm they were causing themselves. And when they reflected later on, they realized that they were more so self-sabotaging themselves than anything else. And they looked back on it and they did regret, and they did say, yeah, like I wish I had never done that. It has no benefit for you as a woman to sleep with multiple people or to be with somebody in that intimate of a way that hasn't proved to be worthy of something like that. Not only because of the energy exchange, but because literally as a woman, you release oxytocin when you're in these acts, which is the bonding hormone, the love hormone. I believe that men release it too, but women are more affected by it. So it has literally, it is not going to help you, because now you're releasing this hormone that is making you bond to this person. And you should be very, very picky about this. I say it with no judgment at all. I just simply say it because I know there's a lot of women who maybe don't know these things, or who have been steered in the wrong direction, thinking that they're going to be empowered by being with a lot of people, when in reality, it's the opposite. Of course, everybody can do what they want with their body, but it's important to be informed about these things. That way you can make a good decision. So that was our first little topic. I know we literally just dove headfirst into it. Next topic, which is kind of related. I actually got a lot of questions on this. I got questions on birth control, if I've ever been on birth control, what my thoughts are, what the side effects were for me. So I actually have never been on birth control. That is because of one reason, and one reason only. When I was growing up, I had, like, for example, I had depression, I had acne, I had all these things. And one of the solutions for most of my problems that I was facing was birth control, based off of my research trying to cure these problems, right? So when I was researching birth control, because of course I wanted to cure like my acne, I wanted to feel happier, I wanted to do all of these things. When I was researching it, I found that there was a lot of mixed reviews on it, and honestly a lot of negative reviews. And a lot of women that felt like birth control really threw off their hormones. Birth control caused a lot of issues for them. Just to the point where I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this. And I realized that obviously it's like you're putting hormones in your body. Of course, it's normal that it can dysregulate them. And I'm not saying that birth control, nobody should go on it. That's just me personally. I would always do your research very well before going on birth control. Something that I am going to say, I don't like how it is literally pushed down women's throat. Like for any little thing, it's like, oh, we're going to put you on birth control. Like, that's it's a little iffy to me. I don't remember what I had, but I had gone to the doctor. This was like 2 years ago, I think, or like a year ago. I don't remember what I had, but I had gone to the doctor and they were trying to put me on birth control. Oh, I told them that I felt like my hormones were dysregulated, and part of that was like my acne was flaring up, and it was clearly hormonal acne. And I wanted to get them checked, and I wanted to do like a test on my hormones. And basically my doctor told me, oh, like at your age your hormones just fluctuate a lot, but we can get you on birth control. And it's like the way that these doctors just, it kind of feels like it's a band-aid solution for them. So instead of actually dealing with whatever you have going on, a lot of the times they just want to put you on birth control. And I just decided, basically, like, even when I was in a relationship, I just decided it wasn't worth it for me. I'd rather use different types of protection. I do have friends that are on birth control, or friends that have been on birth control and haven't really had many problems with it. And I know you can also use natural methods too. So that's definitely something that if you're looking for that prevention of pregnancy, if you're not trying to get pregnant, you can definitely do that too, the fertility awareness method. So tracking your cycle, knowing when you're ovulating. Don't do anything while you're ovulating, or like I think it's like 5 days before or after. That's definitely another option that you can look into if you're more trying to go the natural route. But yeah, let's get into the next question. Getting into relationships too. Somebody said, I've been working on myself mentally and emotionally, but my boyfriend doesn't. Should I end things? The way I see relationships is when you're aligned with somebody, it's very easy to be with them because you're aligned, you're on the same path. Maybe obviously nobody's on the exact same path, but you're both in the same range. And when you elevate and you start to mentally be better, you start to mentally become stronger, you start to honestly shed your old skin and become a different version of yourself, a better version of yourself, and grow. And when your partner is not doing the same thing, it gets really hard because now there's a disconnect there. Sometimes it gets to the point where you are just two different people that don't see eye to eye anymore. And honestly, in my opinion, I think that you need to be around people who share a vision with you, who share a vision of the world with you. They don't have to see the world the exact same way as you do, but they have to see it similarly. They have to share similar values, similar types of goals and mentalities. If you are on a journey to go up, 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 and this person is just stagnant and you're not relating anymore, then there's nothing wrong with ending that relationship. Obviously, it's like something that you have to think about. You have to have conversations with this person, communication. But with just that context, I personally would leave because you just don't want somebody that's holding you back. At the end of the day, a relationship should elevate you. You should elevate each other. You should push each other to be the best version of yourselves. And if that person is doing the opposite, then I just don't think that it's worth being with them. So yeah, whatever you choose to do, I wish you the best in your decision. And let's get into the next question. Ooh, this one's a good one. How to manage hurtful feelings when you see your ex move on quickly. I am not gonna lie, I low-key had to go through this. And it wasn't something that I was really expecting to go through, but I kind of did have to go through it. And honestly, as much as it hurts to see someone that you love or someone that you loved being with a new person, at the same time, I would try to look at it in a way that is very liberating, in a way that tells you, for me personally, that's like a turn off, like that's an ick. It's kind of something that is like, okay, I see this and I don't like it. And it makes me feel a certain type of way. So I'm going to use this as even more fuel to just stop caring, because clearly that person is on to somebody else. And sometimes obviously there's rebounds, and there's nothing wrong with it. People can do what they want. But if I were you, I would just try to use that as just seeing, okay, like they moved on, so I should too. And that's not saying like, oh, I should go and move on and physically like find a new person. But it's just to say like, okay, this person is with somebody else. What I would do in your shoes, just see this person is with somebody else. They clearly are, onto something new. So what am I gonna do about that? You know, the way that I see it is not in a way of, oh, like, I'm not good enough, or I need to prove myself, or whatever thoughts that you're having. It should always be instead like, okay, that's completely fine. It does hurt, and that's normal for it to hurt, but see it in a way of, okay, then I should move on too, as in I should continue to push forward. I should continue to heal from this. Just mentally viewing it as like, okay, I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna do whatever I can to heal from this. And that's all you can really do, and it's normal for it to hurt. But yeah, definitely try to see it in a positive light. Never compare yourself, never put yourself down. Oh, this one's so good. Advice on being lost in your 20s, seeing people successful and seeing people that are successful while you aren't. I did do an episode on how to stop feeling like you're behind, and I think that would be perfect for you. But I'm gonna also just say, I think we all are gonna feel lost at different points in our life. Even the people that you see that are successful, they still feel lost sometimes. So don't put yourself down too much. Understand life is full of twists and turns, and sometimes even things that you've been through before are going to help you in ways that you couldn't even imagine. So try to use all of your life experience, everything that you've been through. So try to remember that and just keep working on you. Your biggest investment will always be you. Become the best version of you. Learn how to regulate your emotions. Learn a skill. Just start to do things that are going to push you out of your comfort zone. And that is how you're going to start to grow. I definitely talk more about this in that episode that I mentioned. But yeah, I hope that advice is helpful. Even I still feel lost sometimes. And I feel like I've done a good amount of things. I still feel that way. Sometimes I'm like, where should I be? What should I be doing? And I think it also has a lot to do with, we see so many people on social media. We see so many lives being lived before our eyes that we sometimes are like, oh, I want to do that. And I want to do that. And I want to do that. And I don't know what route to choose. Well, we have to realize we can do all of those things. We just can't do everything at once. About choosing what you want to do right now. And also, I was feeling at one point, I was like, I don't know what my purpose is. Like, I don't know what's my purpose. And I had a conversation with my friend, and she really helped me put it into perspective. And I believe she got this from the book, The Mountain Is You. But she was telling me how you give things a purpose. When you choose something to focus on, your attention going towards that thing is you giving it purpose. So she showed me purpose is what you give meaning to. So when you make a choice, you are giving that choice a purpose by choosing it. So I try to remember that too when I'm feeling lost and I feel like, what am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. And it's great that you're searching for success. That's a good thing, that you're young and you are realizing that you want to be successful and you're realizing these things. You're super young right now. You can do it. And at any age, when you realize it and acknowledge, oh, I do want to be successful, then you can start to take action based off of that. So another question we got that I really liked is, where do you draw the line from putting yourself first and being selfish? I love this because I really do advocate always put yourself first. But I think that's the misconception a lot of people have, is that you have to be selfish in order to put yourself first. And I guess I understand where that comes from, but the way that I see it is you should always put your needs above anybody else's wants. And you should never put your wants over anybody else's needs. I feel like that's a good way to draw the line between being selfish and putting yourself first. So someone else's wants should never come above your needs, meaning your well-being mentally and physically, it should always be the number one priority over somebody else's comfort. And what I mean by this is there's people out there that will want to take advantage of you, and that will, there's all types of people you're going to run into in life. So you have to make sure that you have strong boundaries and that you don't allow people to step all over you, and that you don't compromise your mental health. You don't compromise your physical health. You don't compromise your safety, your well-being to make somebody else comfortable, to please somebody else. And same thing, never expect somebody to compromise their well-being and their boundaries and their safety to please you. And I think that is absolutely the perfect way to live. Being a considerate person and having empathy for others, and at the same time, not allowing people to step all over you, not allowing people to disrespect you. That is what putting yourself first means. And for me, it means I will always protect my peace above anything else. I'm not going to compromise my boundaries. I'm not going to compromise my well-being to make you comfortable. And you should understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I expect the same from you. Don't compromise your well-being to make me comfortable. You're not going to bend over backwards for anybody. You can be a kind person. You can do as much as you can for people, but never bend over backwards. Don't sacrifice your mental health. Don't sacrifice your health. Don't sacrifice you feeling like shit because somebody's taking advantage of you. Don't do that. Be kind. I always preach, be a kind person. And I always share this, be kind, but don't be nice. I hate it when people tell me, oh, you're so nice. Don't call me nice. I'm kind, because nice people, they get stepped all over. I'm a kind person because I'm giving. I'm empathetic. I try my best to make people feel good, to make people feel included, to just be a good person. I will always try my best to be the best person I can be, but I'm not going to allow somebody to disrespect me and then just be nice to them because I'm a nice person. That's not how it works. So that's something I'm always going to share. Be a kind person. I believe that it's a beautiful thing to be kind, and I'll go out of my way for people. I'll be there for people, but going out of your way does not equal bending over backwards. I go out of my way for people when I physically can, when I mentally can. That's really what putting yourself first means in my book. And I don't think it's selfish at all. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think to be selfish is to be the opposite, to always put your wants over people's needs. And that I don't think is okay. So that's a good way to distinguish between the two. Question we're going to get into: do you believe in soulmates, or that there's someone for everyone? I don't know how you girls feel, but when I was younger, I really did believe in soulmates. And I just thought, like, yeah, there's one person out there, and that one person was designated to be with me, and I was designated to be with them, and that's it. And honestly, I wish I still thought that way, but I don't really think that way anymore. I feel like there's multiple people in this world that can be a good match for somebody, and I don't think that necessarily there's one specific soulmate. There's gonna be multiple people that are compatible with you in different ways. And that kind of goes with, do you think there's someone for everyone? I do. I think there's a lid for every pot. There's always going to be someone that likes a certain type of person. There's going to be people out there that are compatible with you, that share the same values as you, that share similar morals. I know sometimes, you may feel like, oh, I don't know. Because when you're single, sometimes it just feels like, is there someone out there that feels the same way as me, or who I'm going to be compatible with? But honestly, I really think there is. And whenever I feel discouraged, I just think, okay, if I exist, there's someone out there that also shares all of these similar thoughts that also exists. That's just what I like to think. Let me know if you agree or you disagree. Do you think that there's soulmates out there? I don't know. Try to change my mind. I'm like, someone changed my mind so I can believe in soulmates again. Please let me know in the comments or message me on Instagram if you're on Spotify or Apple or whatever you're listening on, because I want to know your opinions. That is going to be all for today's episode for our little girl talk. This was so much fun. I kind of want to make this like every couple months, do a little girl talk, have you girls ask me questions on Instagram. Give me like your specific situation that I can give you advice on. Beautiful, blessed week. I love you. Thank you for listening. And I will see you all in next week's episode, Monday at 10 a.m. PST.